Alright, well, as you look around, you can see very clearly that the theme of our message today is slime. I've got something here. Let me see. I need a volunteer. Landon Marable, come up here. Alright, anyone know what this is? Here, hold out your hands. Hold out your hands. Couple them. We got some nice, icky, yucky slime here. There you go. Alright, there you go. Go do something with that. But everyone loves slime, right? You guys know slime's been around for a while. You kids think it's something new that you guys discovered, but when I was a kid, there was this game show called Double Dare. Has anyone ever heard of, any of you younger guys ever heard of Double Dare? How many of the adults have heard of Double Dare? There's lots of us who grew up with it. It was this great show on Nickelodeon, and it had all kinds of crazy stunts and trivia and lots and lots of people with slime getting dumped on their heads. About the same time, there was another TV show on Nickelodeon called You Can't Do That on Television. And every time someone on that show said, I don't know, they got slime, a big bucket of slime dumped on their heads. But back in that day, you think the kids, people on TV make a lot of money, right? Well, the kids on that show didn't make a lot of money. But every time they got slimed, they got a $1,500 bonus. Who in here would let someone dump a bucket of slime on their head for $1,500? Who in here, I'm sorry to say I don't have $1,500. Who in here would get a bucket of slime dumped on their head for $5? Not quite as many takers. Alright, well, I forgot my wallet. Who in here would get a bucket of slime dumped on their head for nothing? Nothing. Come here. Alright, we got our brave volunteer here. Stand right here. Tell us her name. Haley. And Haley, we were glad to have you with us. Alright, we got to get ready though. Okay, wait a minute, Haley. Because we got to make sure we don't mess up the stage. So I'm going to get this and spread it out. Mom's a little worried. She's like, oh, I'm going to have to take her home and give her a shower. That's alright. We'll make sure we're good and covered. Alright, so we're going to spread this out here, alright? Alright. Alright. So we're going to spread this out so that we're covering the stage. Alright. There you go. Now I'm going to get you a chair to sit in. Alright. Here we go. You have to get slime. You don't have to get slime. Have a seat. Oh, wait a minute. We got to get a couple other things here. We've got to get we don't want to mess up your nice clothes here. So here we go. We got this. We got this poncho here. We'll put this on you, all right? So you don't want to do this. You want to get Haley changed her mind. Come on up. Let me see. In the back of the pink shirt, right there. Yeah, come on up. Alright, tell me your name. Jalen. Alright, Jalen, you're going to do it, huh? You're going to get some. Alright, so sit down. We're going to put the poncho over. Alright, here we go. Let's find the opening here. Alright, Jalen, slip this on. Alright, here we go. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. We need these. We need the safety goggles. Alright, you guys ready? You going to put those on? Alright, alright. Put this up over your head. Alright, here we go. I got my bucket of slime back here. Bucket of slime. You see it? Here it comes. Alright. Yeah. No one knows exactly what was in the slime Nickelodeon juice, so I just kind of made it up myself. I just put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, And I don't really know what else in here. It's pretty gross though. So you sure you want to do this? All right, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh! It was clean slime. All right, thank you. All right, you can stand up. You were the key. See? All right, hold it on. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Yes. And we do have something for you. We have some slime for you to take with you there for being a good sport. Thank you. Since the early days of Nickelodeon, slime's become very popular, and it's not at all the green, goopy stuff they used to dump on people's heads. Now we got neon slime, we got all kinds of different colors of slime, we got the slime you can stick your finger in and make noises that annoy your parents. But you can buy your slime at the store, or you can make your own slime. In fact, there's lots and lots of websites and things devoted to making slime now. In fact, on Instagram, there was over 5 million Instagram posts last year with the hashtag slime. Slime is taking over Instagram. So slime has truly become a billion-dollar industry. Not to mention all the money that all the parents have spent cleaning it off the floors and the walls and the ceilings. So slime has made a lot of money over the years. Because slime can be a lot of fun, but it can be very messy. Did Landon get back in here? Where's Landon? Slime was messy, right? When I dumped all that out in your hand. Slime is messy. Now, if I drilled up real slime up here all over the floor, Pastor Myron might have been a little upset with me. Now, Pastor Darren, on the other hand, he wants new carpet, so I think he'd have been all right with it. But one way or the other, y'all have been out there playing and having fun at the festival afterwards. I'd have been in here doing a lot of cleaning if I'd done slime all over the place, because slime is messy. And lots of times in life, we can find ourselves neck deep in slime. In slimy, yucky situations. But one thing is always true. Whether we cause the slime or we're affected by someone else's slime, God is there to help us out of the slime. In the Bible, we're going to talk about a guy named Jacob today. You guys know who Jacob is? Jacob's father was Isaac. Isaac's father was Abraham. And Abraham, he's the guy that God promised to make a great nation. He promised him that he'd have so many descendants, it'd be more than the number of the stars in the sky. It's through Jacob that this promise is going to come true. Because Jacob, spoiler alert, if you go forward in the Bible, Jacob becomes the father of 12 sons. Those 12 sons lead the 12 tribes of Israel, who we follow through the rest of the Old Testament. In fact, Jacob himself's name will be changed to Israel by God. But before any of that can happen, he's got to get himself through some slime. A lot of slime, actually. You see, Jacob has a brother, an older brother, Esau. Now, technically, they're twins, but one twin has to be the older twin. One twin has to be born first, right, Brentley? Carrington? Who's older? Okay, so Carrington's older. By how much? A minute. So she's for 1 minute out of when you're on your birthday, for 1 minute, you're older than your sister. Jacob and Esau were twins, but Esau was the oldest. How many of you in here have a younger brother or sister? Younger brothers are great, aren't they? They are always there for you. And when I say they're always there for you, I mean they are always there. You want to watch TV? Guess who else wants to watch TV? You want a snack? Guess who else wants a snack? And if you want to play a video game, they want to play the video game. But they want to be better than you at it. They want to beat you at the video game, don't they? Guys, listen. Listen to this. Esau and Jacob were a lot like that. You see, Jacob was born second, but when he was born, the Bible tells us this. This is in Genesis chapter 25, starting in verse 24. When the time came for her, that would be Jacob's and Esau's mother, to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first came out and was red, and his whole body was covered in hair. So they named him Esau. After that, his brother came out, with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to him. So we have Esau and Jacob, and we see from the very beginning, not only does Jacob come out grabbing on Esau's heels, but we see that they are very different. They're going to grow up to be two very different men. All right, I need to know some more volunteers up here. I think this will work better if I show you what I mean. All right, let me see. Who can I get? Who can be my Esau? All right, Esau. Who's a big manly man? All right. Come on up here, Landon. All right. Landon's gonna be my Esau. He's gonna work on the hair there, got a little facial hair. No. So we're just gonna pretend. All right. So Esau, he was 100. All right. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. That's for later. All right. Esau was 100. So here we go. You got to put on your hunter's clothes here. All right. All right. And you need your hunter's tools. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. So he's got his bow and he's got his skins and he's ready to go. Esau was a manly man. He liked to do manly things like hunt and go outside and go out in the woods. You like to do those things? Let's pretend you do. Let's have our most manly grunt. Like you ever watch Tool Time? Tim Allen? Tim Taylor? No. He was a manly man. He liked manly kind of things. That's how Esau was. Now his brother Jacob, remember, and Esau, remember, he was covered in hair. He probably didn't smell too good either, I'm thinking, because he was outside all the time. Jacob, on the other hand, let me see, let's get, all right, come up here, Owen. All right, so, with Jacob, he was much smaller than Esau, much smaller. He had smooth skin, right? And he liked to stay around the house and help his mom. So we're going to get you a little, here we go, a little apron. Here we go. Ready? All right. There we go. There's that. And he liked to help cook and clean. All right, don't get these mixed up now. That could be really bad. So y'all just stay right there for a minute. So we see we have Jacob and we have Esau, and they're as different as they could be. And even though they weren't supposed to have favorites, Esau was his dad's favorite. Jacob was his mom's favorite. So that's already starting to get in some slimy situations, because I'm thinking there's probably a little jealousy going on here, a little sibling rivalry. All right, so let's give our Jacob and Esau a hand. Thank you. All right. Yeah, let's take that off. All right. So Jacob, we see that from the beginning, Jacob and Esau are very different. So we're going back to our story, back to Genesis now. One day, Jacob was cooking some stew, and Esau came in from the open country, famished. He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that stew. I am so hungry." Jacob replied, Jacob said, "Here is a good chance. I'm going to get something from that Jacob." He said, Jacob replied, "First, give me your birthright." Esau's like, I'm gonna die. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna die. Sounds like some of you guys when you come over to school. Mom, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna die. But Esau said, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna die. What good is my birthright gonna do me? So Jacob said, swear to me first. So he swore to him an oath, selling his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. He ate it and drank it and got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. There you go. There's the slime right there. Jacob's got slime in his life because he tricked his brother, deceived his brother into giving him something that wasn't his. He knew he had no right to that birthright. Esau's got slime because, let's face it, he was greedy. He was greedy. He traded something that was far more valuable for a bowl of soup. His birthright meant that he got to inherit everything that was his father's. As the oldest son, almost everything belonged to him. The land, the animals, the livestock, the servants. He would have control over the family, even control over his younger brother, Jacob. But he gave that all up for what? A bowl of mushy stew. You know, that would be like me paying $1 million for a can of Campbell's chicken noodles. Don't think it's going to happen. But, you know what? It gets worse. It gets worse from there, because then Isaac gets older. The time has come for Isaac. He knows his time is near. He's about to pass away, and he says, I'm now an old man, and I don't know the day of my death. Now, he's talking to Esau. He says, get your equipment, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the open country and hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me this kind of tasty food that I like, and bring it to me so that I may give you your blessing before you die. See, he doesn't know that Jacob had tricked Esau into giving up his blessing. I think Esau was kind of hoping Jacob forgot too, because all of a sudden Esau wants that blessing. So he says, all right. And he takes off, he runs out into the woods, he grabs his bow, he runs off into the woods, as the Beverly Hillbillies would say, to shoot at some food. And while he's gone, guess what happens? Guess who was listening? Their mother was listening. He said, Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food so that I may give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die. Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father, just the way he likes it. Then take it to your father and to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies. There you have it. More slime. Rebekah, the mom, is conspiring to trick her husband, Jacob, Esau's father, out of the blessing. She's conspiring to help Jacob get the blessing, get the birthright, instead of Esau. But there's one problem. Remember how different Esau and Jacob were? Esau was big and hairy. Jacob, not so much. So he's like, well, I don't think that's going to work, Mom. She's like, now just listen to me. His mother said to him, my son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say and go and get them for me. So he went and got them and brought them to his mother. She prepared some tasty food, just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took Esau's clothes. Now remember, Esau's a hunter. His clothes, even his best clothes, I'm thinking don't smell too great. But she puts the clothes on Jacob. She takes some lamb skin and she puts it on his arms and on his neck. Why do you think she did that? To make him feel hairy, that's right. Because remember, Isaac is really old. He can't see well. So when Jacob goes in, he'll feel the arms and he'll smell the clothes and he'll think that it's Esau. Let's see if it works. So he went and got them up. So Jacob goes to his father and he says, my father. Yes, my son, he answered. Who is it? Jacob said to his father, I'm Esau, your firstborn. Well, here he goes, telling another lie. I've done what you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you can give me your blessing. Isaac was confused. He said, how did you get that food so quickly? The Lord gave me success, Jacob replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, come near me so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you are really my son, Esau, or not. Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, the voice is of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. He did not recognize them, for his hands were hairy like those of his brothers Esau, so he proceeded to bless them. So that's it. The deed is done. Isaac was deceived into giving Jacob the blessing. Once he gave the blessing, there was no taking it back. In fact, he later realizes that he was deceived. And Esau comes back to the field and he finds out that what Jacob has done. You know, Jacob, when he got the blessing, was probably feeling pretty good at that point. He's like, all right, I got the blessing. I get the birthright. I get control over the family. But then he has to realize Esau's coming back. Big, hairy, scary Esau, and he is mad. He is mad. In fact, listen. He said, when Rebekah was told, he said he was going to kill Jacob. And when Rebekah was told that what her older son Esau had said, she sent for her younger son Jacob and said to him, your brother Esau is planning to avenge himself by killing you. Now then, my son, do what I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides. When your brother is no longer angry with you, forget what you did to him, I'll send word for you to come back from there. Why should I lose both sons on the same day? So Jacob runs away. And there we have it. We have slime everywhere. We've got Jacob. He has to go live somewhere else in a land far away. He's got the blessing he wanted, but it's not going to do him much good if he has to live with his uncle. We got Esau. He was affected by the slime because he lost his birthright. He was deceived out of his birthright. Isaac was deceived, and we've got Rebekah who helped in the deception. And she has to send her favorite son to live somewhere else, to live with her family. So she says she's going to send him for a little while. But really, he stays there for 20 years. And that 20 years, lots of stuff happens to him. And he gets deceived himself. He gets a little taste of his own medicine because he gets deceived into marrying the wrong woman. And lots of other things happen to him while he's away. But after 20 years, God tells him it's time to return. Time to go back home. Now Jacob's thinking, I don't know, God. Esau's probably still pretty mad at me. I didn't do that really bad thing to him. So he decides, I know what I'll do. I will send some gifts. So he sends gifts ahead of himself. He sends livestock, animals ahead of himself as gifts to Esau, hoping to appease Esau so he won't be angry with him anymore. You know, we do that sometimes. If we make someone upset or mad, maybe we give them a gift. So he sends gifts ahead, trying to appease Esau. But he waits a few days and he heads home. And he's walking across, heading towards home. He looks out in the distance, and what's he see? He sees Esau coming. Esau coming with 400 men. 400 men. Jacob's like, great, this is it. He's brought his army. I'm done for. But let's listen to what happens. They're coming across the field. Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and he kissed him, and they wept. Esau had forgiven Jacob. Jacob didn't have to buy his forgiveness. The gifts that he sent didn't matter. Esau was just glad that his brother was home. He ran to him and he embraced him. We all have slime in our lives. Whether we make rash decisions like Esau and trade our blessings for worldly things, or we're deceitful like Jacob, we all have slime. And that slime is called sin. And as we saw in our story, our sin not only affects us, but it affects all of those around us. But there's good news. We all have sin in our lives. In Romans 3:23 it says, "For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God." You hear that? All have sinned. Not just you have sinned. Not just I have sinned. Not just those people out there that don't go to church have sinned. Everyone has sinned. Pastor Myron, Billy Graham, if you guys know who he was. Everyone has sinned. Only one perfect person to ever walk on the earth. Who was it, Seth? Jesus. Right, Jesus. Jesus is the only one that ever lived without sin. There's good news. We can choose to run from our sin, or we can choose to confess it. And much like Esau forgave Jacob, when we confess our sin, God forgives us. We don't deserve it. We can't buy it. But God gives it. Completely and freely. The Bible says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. It's as simple and as perfect as that. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. God will come running to you. He will embrace you, and he will forgive you. And you will be his child forever. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the story of Jacob and Esau. We thank you for the picture of forgiveness. The same picture that you paint when Jesus came and died on the cross to forgive us of our sins. All we have to do is accept the free gift. All we have to do is pray. Say, Jesus, I'm a sinner. Forgive me of my sins. Come into my heart. Be the Lord of my life. I believe you died on the cross for me. Thank you, Jesus. Now with every eye closed, every head bowed, if you have not prayed that prayer, you prayed that prayer for the first time today, raise your hand. Thank you. I want to encourage everyone. If you have not prayed that prayer, seek out someone today. Seek out a pastor. Come talk to me. Come talk to Pastor Max. We would love to share with you. Jesus, be with us as we go now into the festival. Be with us. Have fun, but stay safe. As we reach out to the community, let us share God's love with other people. It's in your name we pray. Amen.